Internet, it is Angel Michael, and welcome to the finale edition of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single video. And with that being said, let's get into what I think was a really good finale. So, before I get into actually what happened in this episode, I do want to say what I saw this morning. By far, I think this is a really good finale. I think it was a good way to end off Hasbro's first season, and I think it really sets us up for what we could see in season 2 from what we've seen from the trailers and everything so far. Let's get into what actually happened in the finale. We kick things off with what happened with episode 19 at the end, where Devon was revealed as the Red Ranger, and the mayor saw him go and be Devon, but then Devon gets teleported to the cyberdimension. And so the mayor eventually goes to where the other Rangers are, and he says, wait, you guys are also Power Rangers? And they're like, yes. But then one thing that Devon explains to him and we'll get to it, when Devon and the mayor in the cyberdimension, Devon tells him, look, I could have told you, but we can't, because one of the things that Power Rangers don't do is they can't share their identity. And so I like that they eventually said something about that. Now, getting into what we saw, how we got to where we are now, one of the things that we saw was that Nate told them, what if we make a Ultrazord? And with that Ultrazord, we could go into the cyber dimension and go get Devon. And so the Rangers and the mayor also go in there, but how they figure it out is that before they make the Ultrazord, the cyber dimension opens up again, and the mayor has this tracking device, and the mayor is like, well, what if I go into the cyber dimension with this little tracker and you guys can find me? And so because of that, Devon's father, the mayor, goes into the cyber dimension with the tracker, and that's how the Rangers get teleported into the cyber dimension. Now when they get there, of course, the first thing we see is Devon being handcuffed to a wall, and we see where Scrozzle and Blaze are trying to make Evox have this human form, so that way when we see, and we'll talk about this next season, we will see the human form of Evox. And so one of the things that was really cool is that once we got to where the Ultrazord was, they eventually started fighting off a wave of all of these giant forms of these Tronics. And they eventually fight them off, but then at the end what happens is that you also see Evox finally be turned into his robot form, and with one shot, bam, and the Ultrazord just falls apart. But then we find out that the red cheetah Zord, that still works, and we will see that eventually. And what we'll see then is you'll see the Rangers coming together, and then somehow the mayor distracts one of the Tronics and he frees Devon with one of the keys, and then they go off, and Devon tells him, look, I know I could have told you I was the Red Ranger, but at the same time I couldn't, because he was a Ranger and you can't tell your secrets and whatnot. And then the mayor says, you know, I thought you were irresponsible, I thought you weren't accountable for your actions. And he come to find out Devon was, and he called him a hero, and they hugged, and I thought that was great. It was one great way that the mayor and Devon finally got to come together. What if Devon were to take the Cheetah Zord and go to where Evox is being transferred into the world? And so Devon gets into the Cheetah Zord, and he races over to where the Morph X is. And so they're trying to destroy it, but while they're there, Blaze is in his own form of a Gigatron, and that's where Devon and Blaze have their final fight. Now, as we see that happen, Devon and Blaze are fighting, and we see the other Rangers go on to take down another wave of Tronics, and we see Nate, but Scrozzle transports out of there fast enough, so he's gone, and Nate does his little computer thing, and he shuts down the transporter where Evox is, and Evox cannot teleport, or so we think he can. And so then Devon and Blaze go to fighting, and Devon fights off the Avatar version of Blaze, and so in the real world we see Blaze wake up, and so Blaze is now freed from his avatar. Now, at the end, what happens is that Devon eventually fights off Blaze, and Devon gets out of the transporter, and then they see a cyber gate open, and everyone makes it out of the gate. But the thing that people are talking about is the cliffhanger. We see the mayor waiting for Devon to come out of the cyber gate, but then the cyber gate crashes a little bit. But what we see at the end is that the mayor is looking at his hand, and he sees like the purple glowy thing, and he realizes, oh no, I think Evox is morphed with me. And it's just like what we saw in Dino Charge in that first season, where before we got to Xandar, who was the Gold Ranger, Xandar was trapped in Fury, basically. And every time that Xandar wanted to get out, it would glow where he was, and eventually Xandar escaped. Well, I think this is what Evox might do is, the mayor will be doing his thing, but then Evox will be trying to control his mind, and so Evox will technically be the mayor, but the mayor isn't Evox, you know what I'm saying? And so at the end, Devon and Cruz eventually make it out of the cyberdimension and everyone is safe. And so everyone is awarded medals. And also there was a fun thing where Betty had been standing in the cybergate and she got all stretchy and everything. And so when Ben gave Betty the medal, it popped her little balloon thing, and so she eventually got caught, but then she started being stretchy and everything. And so they all took a selfie. But one thing to note is that in the selfie, guess who it did not take a picture of? The mayor. So, it does seem like in Season 2, we're going to see this dynamic where the mayor is going to be doing his thing, but he's going to turn Evox as a robot form, and so it'll be very interesting what happens in Season 2. And honestly, from what we've seen with the trailer, it does seem like we're going to get a pretty good Season 2 instead of a super season, which I'm glad they're not. So, overall, I think this was a great finale. I think it was a great way to say, hey, look, we know that this season wasn't the greatest of seasons, but we know for the most part all the important parts were done right. And so because of that, I really have to give this a 5 out of 5. I mean, I really see nothing wrong with this. I mean, for what everything they did, even the episode building up to this in episode 19 where they eventually freed Roxy, one of the things that I really liked about this was the fact that they did what they needed to finish off this season. They talked about Devon and finally being revealed as a ranger, and the mayor saying, I really know that as a leader, you are actually a hero instead of a bum. And so then we see Ravi. The mayor sees Ravi and sees Commander's son, and he's like, Commander, why didn't you tell me that your son was the Blue Ranger? And she was like, well, it's like a secret. Power Rangers are supposed to keep their secrets, and the mayor realizes that. And so I think it was really interesting to see that this episode really brought out the fact that it really showed that the Rangers to the mayor are actually heroes instead of just regular people. And so I want to know in the comment section below, what did you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, I know I haven't been doing many of the other episodes, and so what I'm thinking about doing is I might go back and do the other episodes, who knows, or I can just do regular Power Rangers videos. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you made it this far. Until next time, I'm Agent Michael, and I'll see you guys next time. Thumbs up.